Good afternoon. So we've definitely got a few bits happening here now, getting organised. So we've got some mirrors. They look pretty good. I'm not sure about the angle. A few things to be sorted out with them. However, got this fantastic book from my mate for my birthday, Pete. Thank you, Pete. Absolute legend. This is unreal. That's the birthday card. If anyone hasn't seen this book, 400 pages of F40 goodness. Unbelievable. So good. Amazing. So thank you, Pete. We're a little bit obsessed. Everyone's seen the 112th model before. So we've got some headlight now. I've got one headlight, so I need some more. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. I need to take this out of this here. I've asked Mick, I'll get some help on this one, but I had these, but these are out of Toyota Land Cruiser. I thought they were going to work, but they're too big. So that's, I could cut it down. It's got a join line in it there, which I was thinking of cutting it and gluing it, but anyway, to be decided. But the headlights need work. This is coming up nicely. Got this bolted back in, the rear wings bolted back in. A little bit of an issue here with the join. It's not meeting up and matching up properly with the upright. Got to sort that out. And as I've said before, this top section through here needs to be squared off. The corners dropped away. So still a bit more work to do on that rear cliff, but obviously it's a pretty important part of the car. If it doesn't look right, it's not going to be good. Rear windows. I had people asking for rear windows. I have two that will be on the way soon. I don't know if they're going to be any good, but I'll soon see. I've got another model over there that I thought the rear window was wrong because it has lots of little vents. But when you look in here, in this book, it shows you the first prototype, F40, and very interesting, it has 5 louvers in the rear. So there's actually 5, I won't be able to find it now, I should have probably been prepared. The first prototype had 5 louvers there, and the rear window had lots and lots of little vents, like this model here. So this is a Farrago model, and I thought it was wrong, but it is not. This would have been one of the very first race cars. It had a different rear window. So, and look at that. Look at that. It's got the 5 in the rear. So this is actually correct, but it's the first prototype F40. Very interesting. Now you know. I'll deal with that later. So, as far as the project goes, we now have 4 engines, 2 bodies, 1 set of mirrors, 1 set of headlight buckets, 2 volants, 1 roof. Well, we've got another body on the way. So we'll have 3 volants, 2 gearboxes. We're using a Lamborghini or Audi gearbox. So it's all happening. Got to get into it. So I just want to give everyone an update anyway. Lots of cool info in this book. That model's been handy. We've also got a lot of reference material from an old manual in here, which is very, very handy. Nothing you can't get online. Getting there. Oh, and you'll see the rear valance, the rear upright is being machined as we speak. So we put an extra rib to hold the brake caliper, and sent that off to get CNC machined. And then I'm trying to toss up whether we acid dip it to make it look more like an old aluminium finish. I'm pointing at the block here when we're talking about a upright knuckle, but anyway, need to decide that whether we shot blast it, or I don't know. It's going to be all shiny CNC billet, or I'm thinking maybe what the hell, just leave it CNC billet, look cool as heck. It's not a real car, so it doesn't need to be real. And I've got a surprise too for the badge. It's not going to have. Obviously, it can't have a Ferrari badge because it's not a Ferrari. It's a tribute car, so it's going to have a totally different identification on it. So I'll reveal that later. I'm pretty happy with it. It's going to be totally awesome. These have come up nicely now. I know they're not undercoated yet, but I've got all my stainless steel bolts in there, all bolted up nicely into my brass bushes inside there, threaded tapped aluminium inside the wing. The wing's coming up pretty good. It's even got a little, this one's ended up with a kick up in the middle, which is kind of like a Formula 1 style, which I'm actually going to run with it. I'm going to leave it. I think it looks kind of cool. It goes across, comes up, and then back down again on the other side, as long as that curve is nice in the middle. And I filled that with foam. So I filled it up with expander foam. Here's Moose coming to investigate. But yeah, I put expander foam in there. So this wing's actually like a surfboard now. It made it a lot easier to work with. I could grind it back harder where I needed to, where I need to thin down the fiberglass and rebuild it, especially when I need to cut that. I had to cut that nose and notch out of the front. So I had a big hole there anyway. So yeah, it's pretty solid. You got to weigh the 700 horsepower down somehow. When we twin turbo this 4.4 litre all aluminium Yamaha engine, it's going to have plenty of go-go. We've got turbos as well. I've looked at some other people making these. It actually should have a return on the front down here, but I've seen Mick and a couple other people haven't bothered with that, so I'm tossing up whether I'll do that. I've thought about, we're going to make a piece of sheet metal that's folded that fits over the edge of all these holes so I can cut them. So along here will just be a simple folded bit of sheet that I'll lay in, and then I can put my 1mm cut off disc and just slice it through and leave a nice little lip there, probably about 4mm or so maybe, I'm not sure yet. I'll see how it looks, just to make it look right, and then can cut all them out, cut the bottom out. And I've got some cool little grinding discs that I got on eBay. These are unbelievable. So they're little flapper discs. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little flapper disc, but they were perfect for buzzing out all these little bolt holes. So that's coming up all right, but they've been handy. So a few things to do there, and then it's moving on to all this. That's a piece of the rear valance that I cut up to fix that rear. We've looked at that before. The doors are going to need a fair bit of effort. All these quarters, that return shouldn't be there. I'm going to have to cut that out, make a duct that goes back around in there. Mine it looks pretty good. I've just got to put all the inner lining. I'm pretty happy with that. That's actually come up pretty nicely. Obviously then a fair bit of work cutting all this out, getting some glass or whatever I use for a sheet. Again, vents to cut out, reinforcing. I'm going to do some reinforcing on the inside of this too. I'm going to put some probably fiberglass rods in the back to correct the shape. So I'll clamp it down, correct the shape, and yeah, reset it so it's exactly where I want it to be. that's it. The old Utes not getting much love. I put a new radiator in it the other day. It's absolutely beautiful. Running well. The old big block Ute, she's good fun. And this thing here, my brother's coming down soon. We'll bang a tail shaft in this, get the Ute running. So that's the update on the F40 build. That's where we're up to. Thanks Pete, what a champion. Good book. Wealth of source of information.